good afternoon and welcome to Baina Midday News, coming to you live from our news hub, Atomic Junction, Benab House, Accra. My name is Fauzia Abdullah. Coming up this afternoon, Distribution Company considering next course of action following ruling by London-based arbitration tribunal, which ruled in favor of the Electricity Company of Ghana in a long dispute between the two companies. Also coming up, former Member of Parliament for Ewutu Senya East, Hawa Kumsin, says she's been vindicated by Interior Minister's report on the infamous Kaswa shooting incident. We will tell you why. And on the international front, South Africa government to probe how 17 nationals were recruited into mercenary groups in the Russia-Ukraine war. These and many more stories coming up in the next few minutes. Do stay. Welcome back. You're watching Baina Midday News and we're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Baina TV. Now let's move on to our very first story. Former Minister and Member of Parliament for Ewutu Senya East, Mavis Hawa Kumsin, says she has been vindicated by the Interior Minister's report on the Kaswa shooting incident. In a statement released on Thursday, November 6, 2025, Mrs. Kumsin said the report by Interior Minister Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak confirmed that the violence resulted from security lapses and institutional failures, not the action or instigations of any individual.
Mrs. Hawa Kumsin noted that the findings of the Interior Minister's report validate her long-held position that she was unfairly accused and verified over the incident, which she described as one of the darkest moments of her public life. Recalling the event, she said the episode left lasting emotional and physical scars, including an assault she suffered while monitoring polling stations reruns in Ablekuma North. Mrs. Kumsin expressed sympathy to victims of electoral violence and backed the Interior Minister's proposed reforms, such as compensating affected families, improving police training, adopting non-lethal crowd control tools, and halting military involvement in election-related crowd control. The Kaswa shooting, which occurred during the 2020 elections, drew national condemnation after reports of gunfire near a polling center. The Interior Minister's findings mark the first official attribution of responsibility to systematic security lapses rather than individual political actors.
Moving on, a London-based arbitration tribunal has ruled in favor of the Electricity Company of Ghana, dismissing a compensation claim brought by Power Distribution Services Ghana Limited over the termination of its management contract. The ruling, which concludes nearly 3 years of arbitration proceedings, marks a decisive end to the long-standing disputes between the two entities. PDS had sought about $390 million in damages, alleging wrongful termination of its contract with ECG. However, the tribunal rejected the company's claims and upheld ECG's position. In a brief statement, PDS acknowledged the ruling, expressing respect for the integrity of the arbitration process and confirming that its lawyers are reviewing the decision to advise on the next steps. ECG and the government of Ghana have welcomed the outcome, describing it as a validation of Ghana's regulatory and oversight systems within the power sector. Meanwhile, the Power Distribution Services Ghana Limited has acknowledged the decision of the London-based Arbitration Tribunal in its long-standing dispute with the Electricity Company of Ghana. In a statement issued on Wednesday, the company said it respects the integrity of the arbitration process and confirmed that its legal team is reviewing the detailed ruling to determine the next course of action.
PDS in its statement noted that it remains proud of its contributions to Ghana's power sector, particularly the operational and systems improvements implemented during its management of the national electricity distributor. The company also commended the governments of Ghana and the ECG for their ongoing efforts to strengthen the energy sector, reaffirming its belief in the value of public-private partnerships for sustainable national development. Additionally, PDS expressed appreciation to its staff, partners, and stakeholders for their professionalism and support throughout the arbitration process, pledging continued commitment to Ghana's long-term energy growth and collaboration with key industry players.
Yes, so watching Day News. We'll go for a quick breather, after which we bring you business and more. Do stay.
From the very first stage to this defining moment, they came with passion, purpose, and the power of faith. And now, 5 remarkable voices remain. Each has walked a journey of courage, conviction, and devotion, each ready to make history. Ilham, soft and gentle, yet fearless. Her calm voice carries power. Her gentleness commands hearts.
It is our problem, and together, tare zamu iya kiyaye yaran matamu.
Halima, slow but sure, every step deliberate, every moment filled with quiet purpose.
So no matter how you think you have all the weapons in this world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only says be and it will be.
Maimuna shines in modesty. Her humility radiates strength, grace wrapped in faith.
وجعل القمر فيهن نورا وجعل الشمس سراجا.
Hanun, bold and fearless, her words burn with truth and courage.
This is not leadership, this is betrayal, but not all hearts are hardened.
Muhammad, the only man left standing, a pillar of resilience. His voice echoes leadership and legacy.
Amina, I want Chelsea to win the game. I'm trying to fix us, Amina. Can't you understand? I'm trying to fix us. And you just understand how it's like to carry everything. Hey.
Faith, talent, unity. The journey that began with hope ends with history. The Umma Show Grand Finale, Friday, 14th November at 8 p.m. live on Baina TV. Venue, Zenith University College, near Trade Fair, La Accra. Entry free. The Umma Show, definitely different.
You're welcome back and thank you for staying. If you just tuned in, you're watching Baina Midday News and we're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Baina TV. Now let's delve into the world of business, and a new ride-hailing safety index report commissioned by Bolt and conducted by research firm IPSOS has revealed that 81% of Ghanaians consider ride-hailing safer than other transport options, reflecting growing public confidence in app-based mobility. The nationwide study, conducted across Accra, Kumasi, Tamale and Takoradi, examined how safety perceptions shape transport choices, the role of technology in building trust, and how ride-hailing services are contributing to safer and more convenient urban travel.
Unveiled at a press briefing hosted by Bolt, the report brought together government officials, road safety experts, and transport stakeholders to discuss the findings and explore new safety collaboration within Ghana's mobility sector. According to the report, convenience 80% and safety 45% are the main reasons Ghanaians OPT for ride-hailing. Nearly all respondents, 92%, said they use these services when seeking safer or more reliable travel, particularly for late-night trips 70%, when working feels unsafe 50%, or when tired or unwell 46%. Women represent 70% of ride-hailing users, with the largest group aged 25 to 34, underscoring how digital mobility enhances safe, flexible and independent travel for young urban commuters. Key safety features such as real-time GPS tracking 61%, driver verification 57%, and trip sharing 55% were ranked as the most important tools for passenger security, with 94% of users agreeing these features make them feel safer. Notably, 52% of respondents believe ride-hailing helps reduce drunk driving, offering a safer alternative after social events and contributing to broader public safety. Witness Soyinka, IPSOS Head of Strategy Africa, added that the findings shows that Ghanaians increasingly associate ride-hailing with reliability, traceability, and accountability, all essential qualities for building long-term trust in mobility services. The Ride-Hailing Safety Index report provides a data-driven foundation for future improvement in safety innovation, supporting partnership with regulators and the broader transport community to enhance safe and reliable urban mobility across Ghana.
And in some news beyond our borders, South Africa says 17 of its citizens who joined mercenary groups in the Russia-Ukraine war have appealed for assistance from the Donbas region where fighting remains intense. Government spokesman Vincent Magwenya said the men, aged between 20 and 39, were allegedly lured with false promises of lucrative jobs.
President Cyril Ramaphosa has ordered an investigation into how the South African citizens were drawn into what he described as seemingly mercenary activities. Authorities have not confirmed which side of the conflict the men were fighting for. South African law prohibits citizens from participating in foreign military operations without official authorization. According to Magwenya, 16 of the men are from KwaZulu-Natal and one of the Eastern Cape. He added that the government is working through diplomatic channels to repatriate them and condemn the exploitation of vulnerable young people. Analysts link the incident to South Africa's high youth unemployment rate over 30%, making many susceptible to illegal recruitment. The report emerged amid growing international concerns over Russia's use of African recruits following the dissolution of the Wagner paramilitary network. A recent BBC investigation revealed that Russian-linked groups have been enticing young Africans with job offers that ultimately led to frontline combat. In August, South Africa warned young women against fake online job opportunities in Russia. Similarly, scams have been reported in Kenya and Nigeria, exposing how criminal networks exploit Africans seeking work abroad.
Now moving on to the world of sports, the National Sports Authority has lifted the suspension on professional boxing in Ghana, signaling a fresh chapter for the sports after months of reforms and stakeholder consultations. The decision, effective Thursday, November 6, 2025, follows the successful implementation of enhanced medical, safety and governance measures by the Ghana Boxing Interim Management Committee. The National Sports Authority commended the IMC, athletes and stakeholders for their patience and cooperation throughout the normalization process, noting that the reforms were essential to reviving Ghana's rich boxing tradition. Under the new framework, key reforms include published medical and safety manuals, a functioning interim medical commission, a centralized medical database, and an approved insurance scheme to safeguard athlete welfare and strengthen institutional systems. The authority said it will continue to collaborate with partners to promote a safer, more professional and sustainable boxing ecosystem, while encouraging both local and international promoters to stage bouts in Ghana under the updated standards. Now this brings us to the end of today's news bulletin, but before we go, let's recap today's major stories. Power distribution company considering next course of action following ruling by London-based arbitration tribunal, which ruled in favor of the Electricity Company of Ghana in a long dispute between the two companies. We also brought about former Member of Parliament for Ewutu Senya East, Hawa Kumsin, saying she's vindicated by Interior Minister's report on the infamous Kaswa shooting incidents. And on the international front, we also briefed you about South Africa government to probe how 17 nationals were recruited into mercenary groups in the Russia-Ukraine war. You can visit our website at www.bainamultimedia.com for more news. My name is Fauzia Abdallah. Have a good afternoon.